Hi, authors. So today's question is, how long should an author wait before they determine whether or not a series is actually successful? So what is the length of time in between release of books or whether the series is out, et cetera, that the author should wait to determine whether or not that series is successful? I think this is kind of a complex question because there's a numerous answers that could be given for this. So the first answer would be, is the first book in the series selling? So is that first book in the series actually making some level of sales, whether it be high sales, low sales, whatever? Is it just crickets, or is this the first book actually having some sales associated with it? And then the second thing I would look at is pre-orders. And if an author is not familiar with this, you can actually put your books in your series on pre-order so that the readers will know that at the end of this book, I can pre-order the next book and then pre-order next book, pre-order next book, et cetera, et cetera. This may or may not apply to every author because some authors wait a more extended amount of time in between releases for a series. So some authors might release one book and then they might not release the next book till the next year or something like that. So if you're an author who like spaces it out more, then this may not necessarily apply to you. But if you are an author who uses a more rapid release strategy to where you're releasing, if you have a series, you're releasing a book like every 3 weeks or every 4 weeks or every 6 weeks or however often you plan on doing it, I would definitely use pre-orders as a strategy. That could be tricky in terms of making sure that you actually write the book in time for it to be released on the pre-order date. But I would say that pre-orders can be extremely effective in letting you know whether or not your series is going to be successful. So if you have that first book out and the second book is already on pre-order, you can see if you're generating sales on the second book based on the first book. And you can also, if let's say that you have all your books outlined or all your books ready, or you know how many books you want to have in this series, you can actually have all of them on pre-order. And then you can actually, I've done this before where I've actually had an entire series on pre-order and I look at the sales for each I look at the pre-sales for each next book to see if people are actually enjoying it. And some series you can see that you get more and more and more pre-orders for every single book that is subsequent after the first one. And then some series you might see that sales kind of drop off after like the second book or the third book or whatever. And if you find that sales are starting to drop off, then that might be an indicator that, okay, I need to do something different with the plot structure. I need to do something different with the characters. I might need to do something different here or different there. Look at the reviews to see what readers are saying about the series up to this point and see if there are some tweaks that can be made in the storyline, et cetera, for the subsequent books. But I would definitely say pre-orders can be a very primary indicator in terms of whether or not a series is going to be successful. And another thing to keep in mind is that there are some readers, and there's actually a significant number of readers who prefer not to actually start a series until the series is complete. So you might have some readers who like they're interested in your book, but they're waiting till it's finished because they want to just binge the whole thing. They don't want to have to wait from, reading the first book and then reading the second book and then reading the third book. They don't want to wait months because then they'll forget about the characters, et cetera, et cetera. So we hear this commonly in like readers groups, et cetera, et cetera. So that's also something to keep in mind, that you might have some readers that are waiting until your series is complete. And then also some readers just may not have seen your series yet. There's so many books that are released every single day. So readers may just not have seen your book. And then also it might be the covers, it might be the blurbs, it might be the genre or the categories or the keywords. There could be so many different things that are determining whether or not you're generating sales and how many sales you're actually generating. So as an author, this is another one of those reasons why I say that I don't think an author should ever truly give up on a series. I feel like there's always certain things that can be done to make it better or to increase those sales or increase reader engagement. So hopefully this helps.